You're watching BCTV. We're all about Branford. You're watching BCTV, Branford Government Television, a service of Branford Community Television. This program is brought to you in part through the support of the town of Branford.
I'm going to call the meeting to order at 5:05 p.m. The 26th of January. Board of Fire Commissioners, first on the agenda is to consider if appropriate, approve the meeting minutes of February 24th, 2022. April 2nd, 2022 is a special.
April 6th, sorry.
Well, April 6th, yep. June 14th, 2022 was a special. August 16th, 2022 was a special, and October 27th, 2022.
I'll move the approval of those.
Second.
Okay, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? Okay, approved unanimously. Personnel, you can see underneath the chief's report, we have the 3 recruits have graduated from the academy and they're on shifts right now.
Thanks.
I think most people have the Facebook that we had 4 firefighter paramedics that recognized for the EMS.
Yeah, I was going to mention that under my.
Okay, I won't steal your
No, you can
thunder.
go ahead.
Okay.
I just thought I was going to point to that.
And the busiest year we've had was 2022, which the chief will elaborate more on. We got close to 6,500 calls, incidents that we responded on. So this town of Branford, the fire department is extremely busy. I'm proud of all the men and women of the department, as the entire board is, and the chief.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that we emphasize that not only did we have the busiest year ever, but in that entire year, I didn't receive a single negative comment, complaint, phone call about everything we've heard about our services has been top notch. You guys are the best. I forward you guys
forward them
letters
to us,
and
yeah.
and but I get the phone calls and other messages too, and it's because of the work of our people. So they're doing a great job.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, we have good attitudes, and it starts at the top of leadership. So good job, chief. Everybody. Okay, we'll move on to finance. Commissioner Riccio.
Yes. So in the chief's report, we have, he put inflation has impacted all the accounts. Everyone knows rising costs. Everything's going up in price. So our budget is kind of getting a little thin as we speak. There are 3 firefighters that are out long-term. That's also going to affect our overtime accounts. So be prepared for us to come back. We're going to have to probably go to the Board of Finance and, get additional money for that.
From contingency.
Yeah, from contingency some down the line. And then I think the budget is not ready tonight, or we got to look.
Well, I in your packet, I gave you a first look, and we can discuss it when we get there. And
so I think we'll look at this over, and then I think next meeting we can discuss this or have a special meeting. This way we can overlook this and take it home, look at it, and then if we'd like to add a little bit in, or stuff like that, I think we come back to the next meeting rather than just getting the budget and saying let's approve it.
Chief, right now, just because it's part of your finance that we have it on the agenda. Chief, right now we don't have anything for new positions in this budget right now currently.
The budget that I have before you proposed has an added overtime line for daytime coverage of Station 9 as a start.
Okay.
It's a starting point for a discussion.
Good.
And
So we put somebody down there and staff it.
Two
People down there to staff it on overtime.
Monday through Friday.
During Monday through Friday, 8 to 10.
Okay.
All right, so we're getting that many calls that we need?
Yes.
6,413.
No, I'm talking about Station 9.
Then we have to start thinking about the equity of service, right? We have all our eggs in one basket. It takes 12 minutes to get to Stony Creek. It takes a good 9 minutes to get into the end of Pawson Park from here if we're driving fast.
Okay.
And when you look at the call volume on the heat map, which shows you, visually the location of the calls, the deeper the heat, the more calls there are. Obviously, it's along the Route 1 corridor, and then it goes down into Indian Neck and spreads along the shore. So this time of year, it's a little less busy, but the truth is that when we start adding personnel, second engine company, we're gonna have to start thinking about moving out of putting all our eggs in one basket.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think if you monitor it, like I'm pretty connected at the hip, but right now our first response, we have an engine going. We do have other units going, but we pray that we're going to get another pumper on the air. And 9 out of 10 times, to be honest with everybody, people are busy, but it doesn't happen. So we're not even covering our first response.
Okay.
So it's a problem. It's an issue. So we have to really look at this. That's good, Chief. That answers my question because
Yeah.
you know where my head's at. It's a lot more than this. Yeah.
Right.
But we'll take baby steps and start the process.
Yes.
Yep. Good. Okay. So
it, yeah.
next meeting in February, we'll act on this and approve it. That gives us enough time, right? We'll have everything we need by okay.
Yeah, because March will be the.
Yep, for this
Okay.
year.
Yeah, March is when
Yeah.
the action is, yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Training, Commissioner Clem.
Wait a minute. I'm like, all right, as usual, training. Our folks are very, very busy. Oh my God, I'm not going to go over all these. Some of our staff have graduated from the Connecticut Fire Academy. Some of them have signed off as operators on Engine 1 and Engine 7. Some of our paramedics are continuing their medical education. Let's see here. There's so much.
Can I just interject there?
Oh, go ahead.
So under the continuing medical education, our paramedics are required to do essentially 16 hours a year, and then on top of that we have several certifications that typically are 8 hours each that we have to do. It's a very large undertaking, and there's various topics that have to be covered, and they have to be approved through the state education committee and sponsor hospital. And I just wanted to say that our drill master of EMS, Garrett Lizzie, and his team have been doing a phenomenal job doing that, because it's a large undertaking, and having it here, it keeps us here, and instead of having to send people outside, and they're doing a great job.
Okay, this is great. All right, now I understand that the Deputy Chief Judd had a class here a while back. We have a hydrofusion strut kit.
So essentially, that's for stabilizing very large vehicles, and it's a hydraulic strut, so it can actually lift. So if you had an underride of a car under a large vehicle, and to pick that vehicle up and be able to help
now,
those
we
people.
bought it, or did someone donate it?
No, we own it.
Okay.
We bought it through our equipment fund. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And then the cars that were used of United Towing donated the cars that the guys were.
Yep. United Tire and Towing has been
United,
a great friend of the Branford Fire Department, and
this was
they
great.
bring
Yeah.
us some cars and help us out with training.
Oh no, this is fantastic here.
There's one out in back that looks like it's next up.
Okay. Now they ran. I did not know this. They ran a CPR class last week, I guess it was, and so I called Deputy Chief Kudjma to say, when was this class and stuff? I'd love to have been there. And he said, if you went on Facebook to see it. I said, oh geez, okay, I go
That's
on
been an
Facebook
issue, I
maybe
think.
once every couple of
That's
weeks.
The problem
That's
is
the new
that
registered,
it's our best way to reach the most people, and it fills up like that.
Someone hacked.
Yeah,
And-
see,
and-
that's what I said.
And we only have so many instructors, so we can only
Right.
allow so many. There's a student to instructor ratio, and if they're full, they're full. So
No, from now
we'll
on, I'm
we'll
gonna
put them
check
out
it.
to you.
How
Only
will,
face you usually get.
We're gonna do it quarterly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as we do more of them, they won't fill up.
There's
as fast.
another
yeah,
one
because we
coming
had
up.
talked about maybe, letting the neighborhood associations.
We did. We emailed the presidents.
You did, okay.
Oh,
All right.
Okay.
What they do with it after that is
okay. So they are going to
Enough
have.
said.
yeah.
There will be another class in February, and I told him, I said, all right, I'd like to come. Many years ago, I went down to Company 5. They were doing CPR. Okay, I need to know how to do this. So I went down and watched them and did my thing and everything. But I'm sure in all the years, they've changed
You have.
protocols and all
It
this
has
other stuff.
changed.
That's
So
changed.
that's why I want to do it again.
But it's still the an important skill.
Oh,
And we want
gosh,
to get
yes.
more and more of the public trained, and we also want to remove the fear factor. Get people involved, teach them CPR. For most of the lay people, the non-medically trained public, we're teaching hands-only CPR, and it makes a difference. Makes a difference because remember, we bring the emergency room right to your doorstep. We have medicine, we have the defibrillator, we can do a lot of stuff that the hospital can do right here on your doorstep. And what makes that all give us the best chance is by doing CPR if it's necessary. So.
Also, I found out in the Sound there is a house that's going to be torn down.
16 Wakefield?
So, no, this one's on Pleasant Point. Old house on Pleasant Point. So I notified Deputy Chief Kudgeba to check into that to see if maybe we can use it again for training, because we need buildings.
We got 16 Wakefield.
Okay, I'll have to check this one out.
Right? Isn't that Wakefield?
We have 16
It's down
Wakefield.
Is there
Park.
enough room between the houses so that we?
I don't know if we're going to burn it. The problem with burning the houses down these days is that the environmental laws require them to be completely remediated.
Right.
It's a whole
before we
process,
burn 'em.
and by the time we get that would all be done, it's put the homeowner in a position where they're behind. They have, time is money,
gosh,
and
yeah.
if you have your demolition people and you need to get things built, and it's really kind of crimped our style in that respect. But we're going to get the one in Wakefield. We have a training plan all set to go.
Oh, good.
I'll have Deputy Chief Kudgeman share it with you guys so you can see it, and you're more than welcome to come down and see
it's
what's going on.
fascinating because when I went to the Branford Yacht Club that day to watch them, oh my God, it's just, and they wanted me to go up a 40-foot ladder. I don't think so. Okay, that's it. Okay.
Okay. Right, we move on to apparatus. Chief, anything you?
So, as usual, Dante's doing a heck of a job with the apparatus. All the usual annual stuff's been completed by now, and he just chips away at the list. And the list is it wanes and waxes, but he's doing a great job, and
It's amazing.
we appreciate that.
And saving the department money too.
Yes.
Saving a ton of money doing it.
A lot of money. I
Yes.
just want to say it.
And that's another, speaking of inflation, the
Yeah.
prices of parts are through the roof.
Yep.
There's often delays in getting things. So, we do our best to move things around and get things going. But right now, everything's on the road. There's nothing out of service.
Everything's working right
Oh
now.
God, yeah. Now he comes in on a day off to do this.
He does, yeah.
God love him.
He works very hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no. Exactly.
All right, EMS Commissioner Fox.
Okay. Well, apparently we are going to hit our revenue target
Yeah.
before the end of April, which
is-
tells you how busy we've been.
Right.
Yep.
And there have been 2,939 EMS incidents from July 2021 to January 25th, 2023. 2,296 transports to area hospitals.
Yeah.
78% transport versus non-transport. And we already talked about the community CPR classes, but I wanted to mention that 4 of our personnel received an award from Yale New Haven Hospital
Yes.
for the care they delivered to a cardiac patient. And there was a lovely picture of it on Facebook where they came out and presented the award to our folks, and they are all to be really highly commended.
Yeah. So that was also picked up by, the Patch and the Sound newspapers.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
The Yale Center for EMS is really trying to accentuate the fact that time is muscle, as they say, or time is brain if you're having a stroke, and the importance of activating either a stroke alert or a cath lab alert, which is in the case
That's what
they do.
did. Yeah.
So the process is that someone has chest pain, they call 911, we get there, we can rapidly diagnose it using a 12-lead EKG that our medics are trained technicians to use in the field. If you need medicine, we can provide the medicine, we get you an IV, but the key there is even while that's all going on, we'll activate the cath lab as soon as we have enough information.
That you're coming in.
And for people that don't understand, is activating a cath lab is a very expensive process. So it's, to do it on the say of a paramedic from the home is a big change in our industry. And they're confident. Our people are very well trained, and it's making a difference in people's lives of whether they they survive with either no long-term effects or very little or worse. So it's a big part of our wonderful EMS system here.
It's remarkable.
It is. I mean, that radio, or my radio, I should say, some days, I swear, it never shuts up. It's scary. I mean, for me, it's scary in the fact that we get so many calls back to back. And then there's other days when it is quiet, and I think to myself, did I turn it on? But yeah, I think that, if the public knew
Pretty busy about 1
how
o'clock in the
busy
morning.
we are, yeah.
It can
Pretty
be.
busy then.
And it's calls from
At 1
A,
o'clock in the morning.
yeah.
1 o'clock in the morning on, there's a lot happening sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, from A to Z, yeah. And then dummy me locked myself out the other day. Okay, I hate to call the guys, I hate to call. But I didn't have any choice, so.
So you were the lockout emergency.
She was 5, number 5. Yeah, but you got a Knox box, so that's good.
I have a Knox box, but I can't get into it.
Yeah,
They have to come and open the Knox box, right?
that's good.
So 3 of the guys show up, and I'm thinking, oh no, all they need to do is just send one, But hopefully it was a quiet time,
Yeah.
And everything. But it was me, so. Oh, Lord.
Buildings, Chief Ahern, I can report me the chief. So Station 9 is almost complete.
Right,
The
yeah.
new bunk room and kitchen area. We had a little hurdle happen up there. Is we have to have somewhat of a, I wouldn't call it a commercial hood system, but
No,
there's a little bit of give and take with the.
It's going to
building
need
inspector.
to be a commercial
Yeah.
hood, and unfortunately, it's rather, they're expensive.
So we didn't have that in the budget, so we're at a little standstill with that. But we are gonna.
We'll get through it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We may have to do a capital request for this upcoming budget, which is not, in the meantime, we'll get everything else complete. It'll be
Looks really good though.
Yeah.
They didn't
Yeah,
contract
they done the on the ground, you guys wanted stuff around.
Well, that
says here,
stone
that's
is being
what this
delivered.
is.
That's going to be coming soon from
Okay.
Stone Place, and then we'll have the mason will be installing it soon. Hopefully, once the weather warms up, to have it bond.
Okay.
So, yep.
Oh, okay, good.
And we do want to talk about putting in the one last part is the slide, because it's 31 steps up and down those stairs, and get a little bit to avoid injury. It'd be nice to have it. Not allowed a pole, but the chief has
I
seen it.
know, I'm so
We have
disappointed we
it's a
can't have a
slide.
pole.
I know.
Yeah, but you know what?
It may be the solution. It's just one is safer than the other.
Yeah.
That's right. We could put a cushion underneath.
At the end of the
it.
day, that's something else we're looking at. So I don't think that's as big as a deal, because it's a newer building.
Oh
So we
my
have
God! Oh my God!
So the slide is like a slide,
Like a
Yeah.
place like.
like a play slide.
Yes, it goes like that. It doesn't take up a lot of area.
Oh, so it spirals.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They make straight slides too. It depends on the application, but you'll see them.
Oh wow!
Okay.
Oh, I'd like
Yeah,
to
you go up,
see
stand
this.
on it, and you go
Just
down.
a quick way to get down. That's-
Yeah.
It's all about time.
No, it is.
That's
Absolutely.
to the commissioner's earlier point about, station location is, our farthest reach from here is Stony Creek, and,
I know
and
it.
all our eggs in one basket up
Yeah.
here. So
I know it. Every time I
the
see we have a
long-range
call
plan
on
is to-
Prospect Hill
Yeah.
Road, I'm thinking,
I know it, I know
oh,
it, yeah.
Lord.
All the way down Leeds Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's
Sawmill.
scary.
I
It's
know by
scary.
the time they get there.
Well, I mean, years ago,
Yeah.
before all your time, was we had been discussing having a building out exit
56.
56,
Still are.
and where the state has their building and everything.
By the
But it just-
highway department.
But it just never came to be. I mean, it obviously it's going to cost money to build it. You need some staffing, and just
All-
never
All
happened.
part of the plan.
Never happened. So,
Yeah.
Anyway, but we're paying for it now.
Yeah.
We're paying.
Chief, are the chargers working outside? I saw the lights on, no?
I haven't gotten the official.
Oh, they use them?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're supposed to be letting us know some type of way for us to see what's going on with it
Yeah.
and whatnot. And
Oh.
I haven't not received it.
Where's the radiant floor not working? What part? Everywhere?
It's not working to its potential, which means we're using more of the gas,
Yeah.
blown hot air heat. So that the apparatus floor here at headquarters is designed to have the radiant heat,
We've got the loop system, yeah.
keep the
So leak.
maintain the temperature, right?
Yes.
And then the doors open, cold air comes in, they leave, the doors come down, and the gas is really just supposed to get the air back to temperature quickly, but the radiant heat keeps everything warm. And it hasn't been working for some time. We think it's airbound.
Oh, jeez.
And you know, these are
glycol and everything
these
going through
geothermal systems are a little bit complex. There isn't a lot of HVAC companies that really know them. So GGB, our government buildings people, are having some trouble getting people to figure out what the problem is.
Oh, my God.
Has anybody come?
They have.
Okay.
It's just nothing's been figured
Nobody's
out.
made the
Oh,
diagnosis.
darn.
Talk to me after the meeting. I got someone.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause that's what we need. We need.
put a
You know,
big
we were gonna.
system-
My next thing was just to reach back out to Silver Petrocelli and see if he had another
Yeah.
recommendation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get
Oh,
who
my
the guy is. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Pension, no report.
Pension, okay. Received an email from Deputy Chief Murray, Jimmy Murray, that all the run reports for the volunteers are in. And so I talked to Jim just before I came here, Jim Finch, our finance director, and so he's looking at next Wednesday, the 1st, for a meeting.
I'm leaving on Monday for 6 weeks.
6 weeks. Can I go with you? All right, it's enough of us. We'll handle
I
it.
can, but if you need me, I can be there by phone.
No,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, we can zoom her in.
Zoom
Yeah,
in.
yeah,
Yeah.
no big deal. No big
And
deal.
same next month.
Yeah.
I'm available.
Okay. All righty. So anyway, we will do that, and I'll contact the rest of the committee and see if we can meet. If not, we'll see you when we see you. Okay.
Okay. Chief, your report.
All right, so we've responded since July 1st, the beginning of the fiscal year, 3,828 calls for service, 18 calls per day is our average. Monday's been our busiest day, with 12 o'clock being our busiest hour. You know, emergency medical volume is by far the largest driver of our call volume, and we're about a call and a half a day above the previous year. Remember, we had a little slowdown during the COVID years, and but the biggest, and I think you mentioned it, Commissioner, is the calls frequently occur in groups where we have 3 staffed ambulances during the day, and it's not unusual to have 5 staffed ambulances and even mutual aid in the town at the same time. And what that does for us is that we're at zero status for career staff, and everything falls back on the volunteers. And the volunteers that we have here are wonderful. They do a great job, but they have jobs and they have families, and it's very difficult. And the reliability of the system is failing on a regular basis. And so we did have a volunteer officers meeting. We discussed it. They are doing the best they can. They understand that they need to work as one group instead of 4 individual volunteer companies to make this happen. It's easier said for the 3 uptown companies because they're geographically closer to each other, and the members of those companies can kind of cross staff other companies. So we have a plan. We're working on it, but despite our efforts at recruitment and retention, it is volunteerism is becoming less and less for whatever reason. It's not just the fire departments. We've discussed this
It's
before.
everywhere.
It's across
It's
all service
everywhere.
organizations and everything else. And I just don't see it coming back to the point where we can rely on it like we had all these years. And I think people don't realize is that as the department's grown, but it's really grown in the EMS side. we still only have one paid fire engine, and that's if we're doing that many medicals, people ask me all the time, why do we send a fire engine on a medical
Oh, I
call?
know it. Get
Well,
asked
the reason
that
is
every time.
because that's the emergency at the time,
That's how we
and
get people there.
they're a first responder. So ambulances
paramedics.
transport back and forth to the hospital. While they're doing that and they're not available, and you have that heart attack or you have that medical emergency, we have to send somebody there to start care, and that's what the engine does. And then, you know, we try to backfill that with, you know, other things. But the amount of our ability to stretch and our ability to just maintain is we're back at that point where it's getting critical and we need to start to discuss it. So we are we're working on a long range plan. Assistant Chief Kozak couldn't be here tonight. However, he is working on, you know, the three things I've asked him to start with is we're first working on Assistance to Firefighters grant. We're looking to buy some equipment and some training to go along with it. And so that's a very time sensitive thing. We have till February 9th to get that done. And then we're also looking at the Insurance Services Organization ratings for the town right now is a 4. It runs at a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, 1 being the best. To achieve a 1, we would have to do a heck of a lot more at a much larger cost. And but I truly believe just what we have now and maybe a little bit more we could achieve it too. And there's a definite cost savings to the entire town. So the insurance companies use that rating to determine how much you pay in insurance. So if we can reduce costs of insurance to, you know, the municipal buildings, to the businesses, to the residents, primarily the more you pay, the more you'll see. But that would be a give back for the investment in the fire department. So we want to first make sure that we can, you know, show that we can do that, get that down, and at the same time look at the staffing plan. And the first step in that plan would be, you know, Station 9, because we physically have a footprint there already. And then eventually, to your point about the station out east, that would be our next, because it's too far for headquarters to go out there.
Yeah.
And if the volunteer units are getting out or often getting there at the same time, so you can see that's 12 minutes right there. 12 minutes is a long time in an emergency.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have 4 to 6 minutes to survive without oxygen to your brain and other vital organs. So, you know, we really need to think about the equity of service over time and as that area of town gets built up. So this isn't going to happen overnight, and we realize that. And I don't want to get people too nervous, but we want to write the plan, and we need time to get that plan written, and we want to look at all the different options as far as providing the service, whether we include some commercial ambulance company in the mix, if we include you know, the Wallingford model of putting just EMTs on the ambulances and keeping our paramedics back. But you guys know there's pros and cons to everything. We have a wonderful EMS system. I don't want to degrade that in any way, shape, or form. It's not worth the cost savings to do that, and but we do have to build up the fire side, and we also have to make sure that we provide the equity of service that we don't have right now. So that's the plan that we'll, you know, be working on and hope to be present to you over the next, you know, the remaining part of the fiscal year.
So, on the volunteers, would this mean that, for instance, when we dispatch now for a volunteer, it would be any volunteer from one of those companies?
So what we decided, you know, what I've asked them to do is, if the call is for engine 2, for instance,
Right.
that all the volunteers, no matter whether they're members of 9s or 4s or 5s, if they are
They're
available.
available.
Right.
Because nowadays they can see who's available. They can say, I'm going to the call. So if they can get that and they can say, hey, okay, 2s is full, but 4s is the next due engine, let's start filling up 4s. You know, it's a good way to at least get some reliability back into the system, to know that
Well,
we
it
at
makes
least
sense.
have that next
It makes a
engine
lot of
coming.
sense. It's just a better use of the resources.
And as you know, we also have an automatic gate agreement with East Haven for the west side of town.
Right.
We work closely with Guilford and our
Gotta
other
remember, you
mutual
got some
partners.
volunteers that are drivers of these apparatus that they don't live in their districts. They live in someone else's district, like within a stone's throw from here to the
Good.
training pavilion, away from the firehouse, and there's no reason why they can't drive those trucks.
That's right.
And train
That's
in the
right.
district,
That's
yeah.
right.
So that's something, you know.
Yeah, it's sort of changing the mindset
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you're attached to.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's you know, that's what we're looking at, and we're going to be working on that, and we're going to, we want to put the plan together in a very comprehensive way that shows all the data involved and give people the information they need to make decisions. Then they can check the facts for themselves and make their. But that's our job is to tell. My job is to tell you guys what I feel, and I feel that that's a good plan. It'll give us a kind of a triangle of coverage with overlapping circles of response. And when you talk about that 4 to 6 minute response time, that's what we're trying to accomplish in the greatest populated and built up areas of town. Other than that, again, I appreciate all the hard work that everybody's been doing. Firefighting is an extremely dangerous job, and our friends in North Haven had a structure fire. The pump operator, Matthias Wirtz, was working very hard. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, moving hoses, hooking up things, dragging hoses. He was changing a bottle, and unfortunately he succumbed to a heart attack. So we assisted them by sending a full engine company over during the wake, as they would do for us, and then obviously had a great turnout over there. So our condolences to
North Haven.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
And to his family.
yeah.
And that's all that I have for you.
I just want to bring up one thing about Fire Marshal Dobinski, his
Mhm.
report. I just want to say that system that he has works really well, that Brycer, that one that we all approved for him.
Oh, good.
And I will tell you, he doesn't discriminate, because I've got 3 letters from him. So automatically it generates, if a sprinkler or a protection company comes in and finds a deficiency
Yep.
on that report, they don't hide that. That goes right to him, and that formulates a letter right to the building owner that
Oh,
fast.
that's nice.
So,
Okay,
a
okay.
couple of them, I called him up and said, I already have these people already en route on it, why are you sending me that? But he goes, that's the way the system works. And actually, I've been working close with him on, 3 buildings actually in the last 2 weeks. And I gotta tell you, he's a one-man show, and I know he has the 3 deputies that do come off on off time to work, but we took a position, there used to be someone there. Now, we need to, I know right now we're trying to get boots on the ground and stuff, but that's a position where, especially with all this building we have going on in the town of Branford, that we're gonna have to start looking at
Yeah.
getting a fire inspector into that office with him, because, he's a one-man, he does a great job.
He does a great
He does a
job.
real good
And
job.
Yep.
So his report is attached. He gave a pretty comprehensive report of all the activities of the fire marshal office. Of course, new plan review is a big activity. It takes a lot of time to review a new set of plans.
Yes, it does.
And every plan that's submitted has to be looked at. So he does that, as well as going out and do actual inspections. He listed how many inspections he did. He also has investigated 16 fires for origin cause, which is by the law our responsibility. When we do find things that we want to communicate to the public, you've probably seen out there, we try to use the whatever means we can, social media, and link it up to the local news to get the word out. Unfortunately, the ash issue, that's still a problem. Fireplace ashes, people mistakenly think that they're cool. The
paper
recent
bag or rubber
Kids
bag.
Cave was
Yeah.
it was about
Yeah.
2 feet off the deck before we stopped it, but it had the marsh going pretty good there, and but Rob's doing a great job, and Brycer's been a good assistant for us. But he also mentions in his report how he's utilizing First Do, which is our new software, and from the fire marshal's perspective, it's really doing a great job. He can take the iPad into the field, he does an inspection in the field, has the person sign off if there's any deficiencies. Before he even leaves, the email is to the person, he confirms that they got it and everything's good, and then he'll be back to fix it, and we can take pictures and attach things, and it's been a really great tool. But yeah, he is a busy guy.
He's able to access a lot with that too. I mean, I saw some of the wonders that he does. That gets in the cloud on that. So
He's
it's really good.
it's been a good tool.
Yeah. So just wanted to give him a shout out too. So he does a good job.
Awesome.
No,
He's the quiet one,
he is
Yeah.
one.
He's working
He's
hard.
one busy
The chief will
keeper.
say. Old business.
Not that I can think of anything, no.
The staffing issue, that was about the only
Yeah,
thing we
staff-
kind of
yeah.
kept on the agenda, but
Well, I know we gave the Fords. I know they got out the other night. I don't know, did you look into that?
yes, they did.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. Okay. So.
Let's keep it going.
We just need all the volunteer companies to work together. New business?
Yes, we need to approve Company 2 going through their St. Patrick Day Parade.
Oh, okay.
I'll move the approval.
All right, I'll second it.
Okay.
Okay, discussion? All in favor?
Okay.
Aye.
So voted, okay.
Aye, yeah.
That's pending that we have nothing going on, chief, as you know, right? And nothing else, we'll look for a motion for adjournment.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 5:40.
40.
Thank you.
Okay.
This program was brought to you in part through the support of the Town of Branford. Watch town meetings and other videos on demand at BranfordTV.org.